So we will be going through quite a bit of our the stuff. So the first little step here would be our land acknowledgement. So as an educational institution, Robertson College is committed to fostering respect, inclusion, and reconciliation with the 3 campuses, 2 located in Alberta. One is in Edmonton, one is in Calgary, and then the other one is in Manitoba. We recognize the importance of land acknowledging the traditional territories we live in and learn and work. At this time, we do invite you to take a moment to reflect and review the land acknowledgement for the city or region you currently reside in. By recognizing the traditional caretakers of the land, we honor an enduring presence of the Indigenous peoples and reaffirming our commitment to reconciliation, inclusion, and the education that we offer. So the overview for what is going to happen for our little virtual session here today. We're going to go through all about Robertson College, the School of Technology, the programs that we do offer, the overview. We do have our career services with our workforce team here. They will be discussing the workforce team, what they do, all that good stuff. And then the breakout rooms for specific programs where you can meet with the instructor, ask questions with the instructor about the programs that you are interested in. Then we'll have a general Q&A at the end. And then, so we'll go on to the next steps. So we'll take this with Lisa, and she can take over the Robertson College mission.
Thanks, Sonia. So at Robertson, it's our mission to empower you with what you need for modern work. And we're your guides during your time at Robertson. We've been around a long time, since 1911. And now we offer 35 different diploma programs under 4 different schools or faculties, 3 physical campuses, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Edmonton, and we have different program delivery modalities. Some important things about Robertson is that we're registered as a vocational college in both Manitoba and Alberta. And then in addition to that, our programs are licensed. And this is important because it adds a layer of protection for students where our programs have been validated by the government to meet labor market needs. So when you're looking at different places, always check if the school is registered and if the program is licensed. School of Tech. So we have a few different tech programs in this school. All of these programs on the screen have been developed and revised with industry experts. They're updated on a regular cycle, and they're designed in our learning management system, which is Brightspace, to deliver these courses. All of these programs are delivered online, and you have access to instructors. So speaking of Brightspace, Brightspace has all of your courses in one place. You have mobile apps to access your course materials at any time on any device, and tools to communicate with your instructor and your peers. This is actually Kaltura, our virtual classroom that we're in right now, and that's what we use and our instructors use to communicate with students. And now I'll pass it over to Carrie from our workforce team, a little bit about the labor market.
Hi there, my name is Carrie and I am with the workforce team. We're the team that assists all of our students with their practicum and with employment after graduation. We also teach the career prep course, so we get to know you really well during that course, and we can find the best possible practicum for you. So as you can see on this slide, there is a lot of opportunity across Canada. In Alberta and Manitoba, we specifically have pulled the data about what the labor market looks like right now for a School of Tech. There is very good opportunity in many of our programs, and in some cases where it's limited, we still have relationships with businesses who are excited to take our students as practicums. And by doing this, it provides you with a reference and the real world experience that's required in order to fully step into the role that you're trained for. So there are some trends and some gaps. So the unemployment rate is actually really low in the School of Tech, and there is a talent shortage. If you remember anything about today's presentation, it's the words talent shortage. There is a difficulty to fill roles in Canada right now. Every tech sector is looking for quality individuals who are looking to really expand their horizons and have continuous learning opportunities. They're looking for qualified candidates. And with your education at Robertson, we give you that qualification so you can step into a role seamlessly. Skills-based hiring is more the norm right now. 75% of organizations are looking at your portfolio to see what are the skills that you have. Robertson also has a series of certifications and vouchers that will help you increase that skill portfolio when you're interviewing. So as I mentioned, we have tech certifications and vouchers. This is an overview of what we offer, and these are added into your tuition. So they're not additionally charged to you or at any additional cost. And the vouchers can be requested while you're in the program and up to 18 months after graduation. If you take one of our programs, you will hear each of our instructors talk about the importance of these vouchers, the importance of the validation of these, and then our workforce team will help you to add them to your resume. The workforce team supports you for life. So once you've graduated, you can always return to us and we will help you to add any certifications, any additional skills that you have. We know how to add them to your resume so that it highlights the experience and the knowledge that you have, making you a strong candidate for any opportunity. So this is an overview of the journey that we take in the workforce team with every student. So we are facilitators for your career preparation course. We meet you in a 2-week course and we get to know you. We learn about where it is you live, what it is you'd like to do, who you'd like to serve, how you would like to work, what fields it would be, and what are some of the things that you are excited about in securing a practicum. If you have no experience looking for work, we help you with that. So from the career preparation course, we work on your resume, we work on your interview skills, and then we coordinate your practicum with you. So we do all of the behind the scenes work. We send the paperwork, we request interviews with host sites, and we complete all of the paperwork in the back end to ensure that you graduate on time. And then once you've graduated, if there wasn't an opportunity to be hired straight from practicum, we will coach you to find employment in your field of study, and that's for life. You can return to us at any point in your journey as a Robertson alumni, and we will help you to either scale laterally or help you upgrade skills or just refresh your resume. So there's some professional standards that are in the tech sector. And actually, last night I attended the Tech Manitoba's Appreciation Gala, where John Wigfield, the National Technology Officer at Microsoft Canada, talked about these exact standards to us at the conference. And it was really interesting to hear from someone in such a high position in Canada working for Microsoft that he said the same thing that we've been saying for a long time, that the IT industry demands continual learning. It's all about doing certifications, conventions, online forums, additional courses. And that change is the only thing that in the industry you can depend on. There's a lot of advancement, a lot of opportunities that can be presented to you at different companies, and you can move up fast. The one thing that is sometimes missed in some of these opportunities is how important customer service is. It's not a job where you disappear and you're in a back corner and no one ever sees you. You're actually on the front lines, working with customers, working with clients, sometimes having to go on site and to work one-to-one with folks who are needing your support. And the catchphrase is really teamwork makes the dream work. You will need to be able to work well with all your colleagues and with anyone that you're collaborating with. It's a surprisingly social job, which a lot of people going into the industry don't realize. And I think that quote is one of the ones that one of our instructors, Stephanie, has said to me many, many times when looking for practicums for tech students. So lastly, we have interview support. We will help you brush up on technical skills. We will help you with the language of tech. Depending on the program that you're in, it will be different. We'll help you for some behavioral questions. So we'll prep you. We'll be the interviewer and we'll ask you how did you handle certain social issues or behavioral problems that you may come up against in an interview. And then we will also help you practice interviewing in a real world setting. We're noticing now that a lot of interviewers are asking you to do coding or problem solving with a paper and a pencil in the interview because they want to see that you have retained the skills that you have learned in class, that without a computer, without a phone handy, that you know how to do calculations and to talk through your thought process. So we help you with that. We are here for you for life. I think I'm going to turn it over to Sonia for the introduction of our instructors.
Thanks, Carrie. So we do have 4 instructors here today with us. We have Stephanie, who does the computer support and network security technician with us. We have Om Parkesh. He does the data analysis program. And then we have Naresh, who does the full stack web developer. And then we have Dorian for the cyber cloud and security program. We will have breakout rooms where you can go into the breakout room and definitely be able to speak with one of the instructors or all of the instructors and get some information about each of the program and that.
Sonia, we can all stay in this main room and talk a little bit about each programs.
Sure.
So it will be more like a highlight for Isaac in order to guests to understand the difference between programs and what those programs can be expected. So how about let's start with Stephanie to talk about a little bit about your programs.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So we got my slides up. Awesome. So I've been in the industry for around 7, almost 8 years now. I've been doing work as a support computer technician, tier 2 level stuff. And I've been an instructor with Robertson now for over 3 years. I have my A+ and my Security Plus, and I'm working on my CYSA certification. It's a lot to memorize, so it's a lot to work on. The CST and NST roles, I know that Carrie kind of went into the details a little bit. You have to use problem solving continually. Like that's the entire role to fix the computer and network problems. I put my quote there is we use critical thinking to solve your computer and network problems. It helps to know that it isn't only you in the industry, that you do have a team of people that you're working with. It's very infrequently only one tech. We solve issues that range from an entry-level position, which would be the CST position, all the way up to like a tier 3 or network tech position, which would be a high-end position, which would be the NST focus. The NST program does go into a lot more in-depth courses throughout the program, whereas the CST focus is to get you the basic knowledge that you need to be able to start in the industry at a support desk type position. What I'm seeing from students most in the industry right now, or that I'm teaching right now, is that people seem to be overwhelmed with the amount of information that's in each program. The The first course that you take in the NST and the CST course is your A+ certification. If you don't have any prior tech knowledge, it is very overwhelming. It seems like it's a lot of information. When I go through teaching it, I always make sure to let everybody know that it isn't about memorizing everything, but just understanding the overarching concepts. So I try really hard to make sure that I assure people and are not stressed out. Usually, as I said, it's resolved really quick because it is reiterated in all of the other courses. So some things that I've noted from the industry, it is a very rewarding industry. There's a lot of opportunity to move up. It is very much like a glass ceiling. You have no limits on where you can end up in this industry. Something else you need to know is that going through the program itself, it is a very time-intensive program. So you do have to commit the time to get through it. There are hands-on labs, which is really fantastic to actually help you understand what you're learning and what you need to take away to your first position in the IT industry. You should expect to dedicate yourself to a minimum of 20 hours per week, which is the standard for all of our programs. So you can push to the next slide, I think. Yeah. So you'll know you're ready for this program pretty easily through a few different key points. You have to have good customer service. That's going to be really big. So thinking that you're going to go and sit in a room by yourself is not realistic. You will be working with people all the time. You have to have fantastic teamwork, time management, adaptability, basically everything that you're going to learn about in your professionalism course. Those are all things that you're going to take forward into your career in IT. Some things to expect on your practicum. Something that people don't really understand or know is when they go on practicum, they're expecting to sit down and like delve into networks, but there's going to be a lot more of the entry level tasks that you're going to be given. You're going to be going under desks. You're going to be, unplugging computers, plugging things back in, installing power bars. You'll be doing a lot of stuff like that. And then, of course, there's going to be your job shadowing and your training videos. Something else to note, and this is for cyber as well, is you do need to anticipate that if you're in the IT industry, there's a very good chance that you'll have on-call duties. Networks need to stay up all the time. So if something goes down at 3 a.m, it has to be fixed. And that is something that people don't necessarily anticipate. I did it Christmas Eve, really, really late. And it is something that you get used to, and it's wonderful. So I think that's everything that I have to share.
Thanks, Stephanie. So the next will be about our data analysis program. So I will give time to Omar.
Hey, thanks, Matthew. Hey, everyone. So my name is Om, and I have been working with data for quite a bit of time. So I have worked with multiple projects over my years, and whenever I talk about data, I want to highlight the fact that this is a new gold rush. All the organizations around us, they are facing a data boom. This data is holding so much value for the organizations that they want to tap into it. And for tapping into it, they need talent that understand the data, that has capability, skills to systematically approach the data and take out the insights for the stakeholders and provide it to them. So within this course, you would go through all the steps that you are needed to perform in a job. You would you would see a lot of the work that you would do in real life coming through your instructor, and also you would get a lot of my experience, which basically deals with uh, interview processes, what industry is requiring, and what kind of challenges they are facing. So within the data world, you do need a very strong skill set in tools like Excel, Power BI, Tableau, SQL, You also need a fair understanding of what job duties you're going to do, and how to effectively communicate with your stakeholders. So if it's your manager, how you're going to deal with them. If it's CEO, how you're going to deal with them. And our analysts are very special in a way that they get to deal with all the levels within an organization. They have to interact with everybody in the organization. So they need to modulate their communication approach so that they can meet the needs of all of the people who need the data. Matthew, can you please move to the next slide for me, please? So I believe that a student who's ready to understand that what the stakeholders need and willing to ask right questions, and then willing to work towards providing right answers, they would be fit for this course. And also within your practicum and initial employment, you should expect that you would get a really um, large exposure to data sets. You would see how data sets are being used within organizations, and it might be entirely different than what you assumed. So you would see organizations which are solely working on Excel sheets, organizations which are just working on Google Sheets, and then there would be organizations which are working on very advanced tools, doing same level of work. So how the same principles of visualization, data cleaning, analysis are applied at various level of tech stacks, various level of complexity. That's something that you would see during your initial employment. And once you understand the whole bird's eye view of how data is helping organizations, you start realizing that, hey, I know the work, and this work could be considered as tool independent. If you know Power BI, you can get a job where Tableau is required. Only thing is that you have to be clear that I'm going to use the same skill set for both jobs. So that was it. Thank you.
Thanks, Soma. So the next will be our full stack web developer programs. So I will pass the time to Naresh.
Yeah, hello. Hi, thank you. Thanks for the opportunity over here. So I have a total of the program that we're going to discuss is about the full stack web development course here. So from my professional background, so I have a total of 18 years of experience in developing up the software solutions. Like it involves like more about creating a web applications and an API and then Windows applications as per the business requirements there. My main proficiency in terms of the programming languages is mainly on the C Sharp, Python, Java, and then when it comes to the backend databases, so it could be like a SQL is one of them. And I do have a main degree in the computer science. And then about the course, like what you will be doing in terms of the full stack web development course when you join up this course here, you will also be doing up the same stuff that I've learned. So mainly building up some web applications or Windows applications, again, creating up an APIs, which stands for application programming interfaces. So where you can expose the data or you can import the data from the other applications. You will also be part of development or deployment using up the DevOps. Like you will be writing out your code and then you will be pushing it to the production systems via using out the version control tools like the Git, then the GitHub. So those will be your main priority as a developer. So where you will be writing out your code and then maintain the versions of the code so that, the program, the code that you have written is not going away or doesn't mess up. And the other few more things that as you will be learning as part of this course, and then also what we require from you is mainly on the problem solving and then the debugging skills. That's more it comes off for any job that you do it, but it would be more appropriate, and then adding up those skills into this program would be helpful here. And when it comes to, okay, what am I seeing from the student's perspective? What you would be doing it up over here is mainly you'll be again creating up all the front end and then the back end applications based on the business requirements of the clients. Somebody can say that, okay, I would like to create a website and then full around completely all the way from starting till the ending, like with a creation of an UI and then adding up some business logic into that. And then you create a database and store all the data into that. And then fetch it, display it as per the business requirement. So again, this falls out. It could be an Windows application or any specific an API that you wanted to expose. Nowadays, it's all mostly an APIs as well, like where you wanted to expose your data so that the other systems can easily take that. And then again, it will be doing up more of a debugging. Like somebody says, okay, I got an issue where it's not happening for the other guys. So that's a more common issue that. So in that particular cases, one needs to go and then debug and then see why it's happening only for the specific users, not for everyone. So that's where the real world, like a debugging, comes into the picture. So what, from students' perspective, what you need to know, like this program is offering up both the front end as well as the back end knowledge. So it's not just that you will be at the end of this course, you will be familiar with the completely in terms of all the web application concepts and then how to deploy then a particular application to the cloud. You will also be learning about exposing yourself about how you can simply publish up your web application that you have created into an Azure platform. So on top of that, so mainly again, we need your time to be invested on this one. And then at the end, again, you will be building up a portfolio. And then there's also career goals that will be helping up from the Robertson College. Can you please move to the next slide, please? Yeah, thank you. Again, from a student perspective, it's more about your eagerness or curiosity to learn more about into the programming skills over here. So where you'll be learning about the C# or the Java programming skills. So it's like if you learn one programming, it would make you easier for the other programming languages to learn. So that's one thing that I can say it, like if you learn one, the syntaxes would be different, but it's more or less, I mean, you'll be able to easily learn the other programming languages as well, where your learning curve would be reduced. Like at the start, you might need to give a lot of time on the course over here. But again, once eventually when you're learning all the other programming languages, which makes your learning curve easier in that perspective. And then also a curiosity to learn, okay, how websites or the applications are actually working on the backend side. Like there's lots of business logic, and then the database side, like you'll be implementing a lot of logic. So everybody would like to know like particular web application is working up, right? And again, the solving up the coding challenges and then debug the errors that, as I mentioned previously, like one of a scenario is like only few users are having a problem. Not everybody is having up the issue in accessing up a website. Like why? I mean, we need to dig down and then see how you can actually debug the whole application and then find the root cause of that. Mainly again, as per the other courses, so even this course requires your time and commitment, regular practice of the actual coding. Like you need a hands-on coding experience instead of just looking at the other stuff. Like you need a more hands-on when you wanted to become a full stack web developer there. Again, as the technology is being changing up, so we need to keep learning about the new tools and then the frameworks. So as of now, I mean, yeah, like when we talk about the full stack, we have Angular, React, Vue.js. So there could be new frameworks that would be coming up there. And what to expect on a practicum or from an employment perspective. So yeah, like you would be given an opportunity to create a practicum more about creating a web application or working directly with the vendors to understand their requirement and then creating an actual application based on their needs. So that would be your practicum, and then you can reach out to the Robertson College if you wanted to learn more about that stuff there. And that's more about the full stack web development course.
Thanks, Naresh. The next we'll be talking about the cyber and security courses. So I will pass the time to Julian. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to meet everyone, and welcome to the session. I'm happy to be here. So my name is Dorian Maldonado. I'm one of the instructors in the Cyber and Cloud Security programs here at Robertson College. I've been working in cybersecurity and computers for just over 10 years. My background includes, I'm currently a cybersecurity manager, worked as a cyber analyst, and also an ICS2, ICS squared instructor. I have a diploma in police studies, network security technicians, and also a bachelor's degree in cybersecurity. Currently working on my master's in cloud and security architecture. I have my certifications include adult teaching certificates, certified in cybersecurity, system certified practitioner, and certified information security manager. So in the cybersecurity and cloud fields, our main goal is to protect digital assets. It means securing networks, systems, and cloud environments. We implement security measures, monitor threats, and make sure data remains protected. We also defend against cyber risks and build overall resilience, which means keeping systems strong even under attack. So what I'm seeing from students are that students are increasingly interested in areas that are high demand in the job market. It includes network and application security, identity and access management, threat intelligence, and incident response and penetration testing. So it's great to see so much curiosity and focus from learners who want to build deep skills in these areas. What prospective students need to know is that the field requires constant learning. Technology and threats are constantly evolving fast, and so being adaptable and curious is essential. Key skills include risk management, encryption, understanding the basics of encryption, identity management, and compliance. So these are the foundations that employers look for when hiring in cybersecurity and cloud security. Another important point to note is that it's not all just about the technical skills, right? Also, employers are looking at the soft skills, right? So it's not just about sitting behind a computer, but also collaborating and engaging with teammates, working together for the best interest of the organization, how you can protect and being proactive, not only reactive. So constantly learning and constantly being up to date and being subscribed to the news, seeing what's happening in the cyber landscape. For example, recently there was an outage with Amazon Web Services impacting many organizations, and this is something that cybersecurity professionals are doing. They're connecting and networking with other individuals, making sure that we're protecting organizations to help to prevent situations like what happened recently, and also to have backup plans, right? Business continuity, backup, and everything like that. So these are all good things to keep in mind for any prospective students seeking a career in technology and cybersecurity, as we see that AI is constantly evolving. So having these technical skills and staying up to date is essential for us to be successful in the field. Robertson College has built a community where students get real hands-on experience and guidance from instructors who are active in the field. So the goal is to prepare learners not only for their first role, but for long-term growth in the industry. So it's a place that values curiosity, skill, and professional integrity. So I'm proud to be part of that. And I think there's another slide. Yeah. So students' readiness and fit. So having to jump into a career in cybersecurity and cloud security, it's important to have a basic fundamentals of IT and networking security, basic hardware and software, knowledge of CompTIA A+ security certification, for example, having strong problem solving and analytical skills. As mentioned, it's not only about being reactive, but also being proactive. Being able to think outside the box, finding a different approach to solve an issue is very important. Critical thinking is important. Ethical mindset and understanding of compliance. So different organizations operate a little bit different. So some organizations are audited, for example, banks are a little bit more fortified. So there's different compliance standards for different organizations, public, private sectors, and things like that. So understanding these compliance requirements is important to be in the field of cybersecurity. Also, being comfortable with the command line for Linux and Windows is important. I know we're all used to the graphical user interface, clicking on an application, the nice colorful application on your desktop, but also being familiar with your command line interface is very important. It helps you get the job done faster and also helps you adapt to different environments in the IT field. So what would you expect on a practicum or initial employment? So practicum projects or practicum placements with Robertson College help you to gain that hands-on experience. Not only that, but it also helps you to network with other companies, right? Meet different people, put a face to the name, market yourself, right? and look for opportunities. And that's one of the things that I always tell students is not only to prepare for certifications, but go out there, volunteer, see where you can, meet different people and network. There's different cybersecurity organizations that you can volunteer, network, and meet other people. This could also open opportunities for you, right? Collaboration with IT and security teams is very important in a cybersecurity role. It's not just about protecting, but it's also to ensure that availability is there for the organization. For example, in cybersecurity, we have this saying that it's the CIA triad, which is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So we want to make sure that we keep systems protected, safe, but also we want to make sure that they are available, because without the organization, cybersecurity does not exist. So we're there to protect the organization, but at the same time, we want to make sure that business continues. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you to the instructors. Next, we're going to have Felix to go through the payment and funding options that is available at Robertson College.
Hi, everybody. My name is Felix here at Finance at Robertson College. I'll be going over a couple of funding options with you. And basically, funding options are ways that you could pay for your tuition as a student of Robertson College. So starting right at self-payment or RSP or RESP. So if, let's say, you come to Robertson and through your admission process, you do let us know that you have the funding to pay for that yourself, we put you on a payment plan that is called interest-free personal payment. And this gives you the flexibility to either decide whether you want to make monthly payment, bi-weekly payment, or payment in full using either a pre-authorized credit or a pre-authorized debit. And with regards to that, we would create a payment plan, send you a request, and then normally we expect the first payment, if you go for a monthly payment or bi-weekly payment, to be processed during the second week of school. And then under that same interest-free personal payment, there are a couple of people who have savings or their parents have saved money towards their education. One of that is RESP, which is basically Registered Education Savings Plan. So in case you are a student, but your parents have been able to save specific amount of money that they want to put towards your education or towards your tuition, once you get in touch with the finance team, we prepare an enrollment letter which has the official school seal for you to be able to book appointment with your bank. So once the funds is ready from your bank or as to liquidation, we will also create a payment plan, which either you decide to make a payment in full or bi-weekly or monthly payments as well. And you may use a pre-authorized credit or pre-authorized debit. So all these three options has no interest rate. The second option is a student line of credit. In case you're working, but you do not have much income or any savings that you are trying to dedicate towards your tuition or towards your education, we have a student line of credit, which you can apply from any bank. What sets us apart is Robertson College is currently in a partnership with RBC. So we are able to book an appointment with you, get you in touch with a representative from the bank, and they are able to assess your application. And that will sort of expedite the whole process than going through a traditional bank to apply for a student line of credit. The good thing about a line of credit is they may not let you start paying the interest on your line of credit till 6 months after you graduate, or even more, depending on the bank. And once the funds is ready, again, we prepare for you to decide on how you want to pay. It may come through like a one-time payment or a monthly payment or bi-weekly payment based on the agreements between you, the bank, and then the college as well. The next one is a band funding or a sponsor. So first off, I will start with the band aspect. If you are First Nation, Métis, or Inuit, most of these bands do sponsor some of their students, if not all, most of their students, to go for education, to acquire like enough education and skills to be able to take up opportunities or vacancies in their community. So if you identify as one of these, we also help you with an acceptance letter, get you to or connect you with your band, and then contact them as to showing your interest to start a program with Robertson College. And once they do ask for, they may ask for acceptance letter, or we are able to provide you that right away as part of your admission process. So once you get the acceptance letter, what you are supposed to do is get in touch with your band right away and let them know about your interest in starting the program. and they will get back to you and then later contact us based on whether or not they are able to sponsor the program or not. The second aspect is for sponsors. In case you are part of an organization or a union, or you are working and your company would like you to go acquire extra skills just so you are able to, move up on your career ladder or whatever it is. Some companies may be willing to do that. If that happens, we are also able to provide you with an acceptance letter or an enrollment letter. And the company will also establish contact with us through, either email or phone calls. And then we are able to help you through that admission process. And once the funds is ready, we create a payment plan, send an invoice to your, sponsor, or whether it is a company you're working for or it's been a third party. And lastly, we have a government student loan. So depending on which province you come from, there are several, like every province has their own student aid option. So for instance, in Alberta, it's called Alberta Student Aid. In Manitoba, it's called Manitoba Student Aid. The good thing about student aid is you don't have to start paying anything, like paying off your loan whilst you're still a student. Your payments normally start 12 months after you graduate. So once you are able to decide which of the funding options you're going for, if it is a student aid, I will sit down with you, whether virtually through Google Meet or in person, and we are able to assist you to apply for the student aid application. And also in terms of interest rate for student aid, depending on which province you live in, it may either have no interest rate if you live in Manitoba, for instance, or only 40% of your funding may have interest rate. And it gives you flexibility as well as give you something extra. So it's not only about your tuition, but they holistically consider your tuition, your living expenses, the duration of the program, as well as what kind of program you're doing as well, to give you like an approval amount. So the good thing about that is you may be eligible to receive extra funding to cover your living expenses if you go through the student aid route. And like I said, you don't start your payment till 6 months after you graduate. And even 6 months after you graduate, if for any reason you are not able to start payment at all, you have the option to extend it for another 6 months, which means you start your payment 1 year after graduation. And if you can start your payment 6 months after graduation, but you want to pay a lesser amount than specified, you can apply for repayment assistance through the student aid portal, which allows you to pay a lesser amount than they expect for you. And the whole duration of the loan can take anywhere from 10 years to 14 and a half years. But if at any point of your life you win the lottery tomorrow, you want to pay off your student aid earlier than expected, you're welcome to do so at no penalty. Thank you. Next slide, please. Great. So in order for us to decide which funding option is feasible for you, we go through a process called first financial meeting or first financial call. This is either done in person or over the phone. So if it is over the phone, we'll ask a couple of questions just to understand, your eligibility and consider you for other funding options. If it is in person, we are able to do it, and the whole process, as in the whole financial meeting, could take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. And if you have any questions, you are able to ask, and then we discuss them before we move forward to the next step, which is deciding which funding option you would like to go in for. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Felix. For the admissions process, when you're ready to start the program, the first step would be to meet with a student admissions advisor. We would go through the program in detail, make sure that you do meet the requirements. Then you would sign an enrollment application form to save your seat for the class. And the next step would be to meet with the financial advisor to discuss your funding options, payment plans, all that sort of thing, answer all your funding questions. Once that is completed, you will start your program. You will start your program, you will get your Brightspace login information. You are going to do courses that are related to work-related. You're going to meet with your instructors, like the wonderful instructors you met today, they're all in the industry and they all understand. Once you've completed the program, you are going to do a practicum. You will work with our practicum team to find a practicum in your area. Once your practicum is completed, you will receive your diploma or certificate, and you will graduate. After our graduation, we do have our workforce team. The workforce team is there for you for a lifetime to help you with resume building, cover letter skills, interviewing skills, and LinkedIn accounts. You are supported through Robertson College, through instructors, the college staff, academic team, all the way right to the end. We're here to support you and to get you to meet your career goals that are needed. And that concludes our presentation for this afternoon for our technology. If you have any questions, any concerns, you're more than welcome to reach out to Robertson College at any time to speak to one of our financial advisors or student admissions advisors, and they'll be here to assist you to help you get enrolled into your program and help you meet your career goals.